You are listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. You have tuned into the Diary Room.
The Diary Room. The Diary Room. The Diary Room. The Diary Room. The Diary Room.
Could be your favorite Big Brother commentary show where we recap, we review, and we insert another word that starts with R for give our opinions. We remaster.
Something.
Maybe. Talking about
remaster our thoughts.
Remaster our
on that
thoughts.
Episode of Big Brother.
On all the
episodes
of Big Brother. And this week we're going to do all those things for the second week episodes of Big Brother. But before we jump into that, who the heck is speaking? I am one of two hosts. 'Tis I, Emol, joined with my epic co-host.
Hello, I'm Chris, and I'm still here. Always.
And British.
I'm British today. I'm really good at doing British. I might just do the entire time, maybe.
2 hours?
Maybe we will.
Well, maybe...
I don't think I have that kind of...
Maybe...
I already kind of slipped there.
It's a consequence.
Yeah, this is becoming too much effort.
I was gonna say...
I think I'm done.
None more? None more? Wow. I couldn't even
Maybe later.
Maybe later it'll reappear. It could
Maybe
be...
it'll just reappear out of nowhere.
It may be a consequence of being a have-not. For if you are tuning in, you cannot see us. If you are watching us on our YouTube channel, you can very well see that I am wearing a crown and Chris is wearing sunglasses of shame. From our prior episode, we are wearing our virtual hats to represent our week 1 review. The first boot was none other than Zay, who was a draft pick for Chris.
He was also a bum.
A bum? You say
he lasted
a bum?
1 week. He lasted 1 week. He didn't do nothing for me.
Week 1 is like 9 days. He lasted 9 days for you. Perchance.
9 days.
And no offense to Zay, but
no offense to Zay. He's so funny.
He was also on your draft as the final pick as a result of me not choosing him. And in a little bit, we're gonna get right back to that section of our draft involving the very last picks. We may be telling the future here on the Diary Room WMSC. You never know. You'll just have to stay tuned and find out. If you have not watched this past week of Big Brother, prepare to be spoiled. But we won't spoil the things that have yet to be on TV.
Yes. Because I don't even know that thing.
I do.
You do.
The nights of the eviction, I stay up all night lurking. And
just to watch the HOH. You know, that's kind of like fair. Like, it feels very easy. Like, you just watch the episode and you just continue.
Yeah. It depends.
Just continue, because they play right away.
Pretty much. So this is actually
most of the time,
a perfect place to start.
It fluctuates.
So this week, this weekend, the HOH I found out by around midnight, our time, on the East Coast. Last weekend, so the week that we're about to talk about, Zay goes home, they go right into the head of household competition, and I found out who the head of household was at around 4 a.m. Again, East Coast time. So that means that live feeds came back around 1.
To like 1.
But we also
they don't show the competition?
No, they do not show the competition on the live feeds with the exception of the wall competition. They keep that up there because it usually lasts a very long time.
Yeah.
With the exception of last season, of course. So I
Shortest wall of
personally,
all time.
I personally haven't watched the live feeds during that comp just yet, so I'm looking forward to it hopefully popping up sometime when I have the opportunity to watch. But I saw some things talking about that Jimmy won head of household. I wasn't quite sure, and then I go to the live feeds around 4 in the morning. Yes, I was casually up at 4 a.m. and he pops out of the diary room and is like, "Who wants to see my room?" And we're like, "Ah, it's official." And they go up there. But one thing that I did not know was what happened between the end of the episode on Thursday and Jimmy seeing his HOH room later that night. And thus, the Sunday episode is still important because I want to know how it all went down. And especially because some of the house guests were whispering about, "Oh, do you know who got the power? The power, the power." And I'm like, "What power? What do you mean the power?" And so all was revealed on the Sunday episode. So we go all the way back to a week ago. They did the Black Box Challenge. And if I could tag myself
Sort of.
in this challenge, sort of, it would be Ava. Because this competition, okay, they put all the house guests in here because there are powers at play, which is really interesting because this means that they allowed the first HOH, Vince, to participate in the competition to win special powers. I'm trying to think back on previous seasons. Have they allowed the
I
same thing?
was just about to say, I'm pretty sure this is the first time they've ever done this. Because the
Yeah.
only concession, like the only time they would ever do that is because of something like that. And it's a very specific set of circumstances that I just kind
Yeah.
of assume that this was the first time, but like, I don't know. Like it's big, but they didn't really make a big deal out of it because I
Mm-hmm.
mean, obviously he can't win HOH twice in a row. I'm pretty sure there was actually a power that let them win twice in a row. They could or something like that. So it might not be the first time.
Because
Um,
they specifically said though he couldn't win HOH.
yeah,
I don't know how they could avoid that. Like if he found because I mean, again, if you're listening, I'm
what
assuming you
happens
watched the
when he
episode.
finds the key?
Exactly. They had to find keys and objects in this completely dark space. Gross, sticky, wet, disgusting. I want nothing to do with
Mm-mm,
it. In the
mm-mm.
dark. And they look for the pieces, so every house guest is in there. I don't know what would have happened if, let's say, Vince found the key that matches with the HOH power. Would there have been an announcement saying, Vinny, you cannot use this power? And then would he be disqualified? Or then is he sitting here with the key
Yeah, but then
trying
what
to get to his
happens to
ally?
the key?
Does he give
Yeah.
it to someone else and say, like, "Oh, you have it"?
Oh, you're right. Like that could have been cool.
Vince,
He
why didn't
probably
you
would have
do that
given
for
it.
us?
He literally could have given it to like Kelly or something.
No, thank
Kelly
you.
HOH this week would have been so lit.
I'm glad you think so. We have differing opinions on her, but that's okay. I don't know because their relationship's weird. This is getting a little bit ahead of this
Yeah,
episode, but I feel like I've just seen a lot of Vince being good friends to Kelly, but then when she's not there, he's like, "Man, Kelly, man," and is just like annoyed by her. But I don't know if that's also because clearly a
it's
majority
probably
of
a
the
front.
house, I don't know which is the front.
It's definitely a front
Is it his
because
relationship to
they,
her or him retelling the relationship to others?
with the to others, because they want to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
It was her idea to like when she put or when he put her him that when he put her up last week,
Mhm.
it was her idea and because she wanted to like mask their friendship from the rest of the house.
Mhm.
Because like I mean, I don't know, maybe there is something going on behind the scenes that we haven't seen yet, but I don't think it really has changed all that much
I don't know
unless it's
which
gotten
way it goes. But either way, if Vince were to hypothetically win it, there would have to be some kind of announcement, I would assume, saying like Vince, you can't do that. And then would he just have it? And then if Kelly got it, then everyone would know that they're working together.
Oh
So
yeah, no, like for sure.
I'd be very curious to see how that would have worked out. But alas, we didn't even get that opportunity. We also didn't get the opportunity to see Ava play in this competition because she just kind of sat there. And I get it. It's like not too far off from last season where they also had a comp in the Complete Darkness and Joseph just kind of sat there. Um I think it's
Did
funny.
he?
I get it. Yeah, I think it was the difference though was that they all, I believe, were in their own spaces.
Yeah, it was the mechanic one.
Yeah, and so I
Oh,
don't
but he
think
was sitting there
anyone.
because he was throwing. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So it
He
was a
was
little
throwing.
different. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that was the That's when, isn't that when Leah was in
That's when
yellow?
Leah's won. Yes. That's
Great
when
in
Leah
yellow
won.
reminds me of the Minions. um, but Ava made it clear that she wasn't playing, and I respect it. I get it. And not for nothing, she also put herself in a really great spot in the house to not have to worry about that so much. So good for her. I liked that the outfits that they were wearing, they were all labeled. Like their names were on their backs so we could still figure out who it
Hmm.
was. And I think the craziest part of this comp was having it this early, where one person went home that brought the house down to 16 house guests. That's normal. So it's basically a full house in the dark.
Now, yeah.
Chaos. I would have hated this competition. I'm gonna
I
put
would have
it,
hated any dark competition.
yeah,
How
not,
are
I
you
mean,
supposed to, like, what are you supposed to, I guess it depends on what you're supposed to do,
yeah.
especially last year.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I would be mad as, I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't. It's disgusting. It's but when they put, like, all the ickiness,
Mm-hmm.
not for me.
Nope.
I'm with Ava on this one.
I get it. It would freak me out, be gross, but at the same time, if your life in the game is on the line,
That's
you
true.
you gotta weigh your options. And Ava sitting pretty in the dark, and I don't think that was a bad move because again, she's chilling out.
She is just chilling. Hopefully she doesn't flow for too long.
No, well, I think
But
she has at least a good social game that is not to be discredited. Yeah, like this kind of floater-esque, but at least
I don't
she's.
think anyone has a good social game this year,
I think
except
she
her, to be
does.
honest. She's
Yeah,
probably one of the only ones with a good social game
I think pretty much
because everyone's
everyone
either too
else.
attached. Oh,
Yeah. No, you go. Because I think we're saying
I
the
was
same
just gonna
thing.
say that everyone's either too attached to somebody else
Hmm.
or just like she's the only one who's cool with every side of the house.
Yeah, I think so.
It's either that or you have like what's her face, Catherine, who only hangs out with the other girl,
Hmm.
and friggin' Mickey only talks to like three people,
Yeah.
and Jimmy and everyone who's in that whole mess is all beefing with each other, which is like
Yeah.
80% of the house, and
I think
everyone who's not directly tied to it.
the
Yeah,
majority of people have either been really great socially with a select few or they have been bad socially for one reason or
yeah,
another, and she's kind of chilling. Just
yeah.
even something as simple as like targets because you're friends with the one veteran house guest. Like that was a poor move, even if you thought it was a good one. I think Ava's been chilling, so she's quite literally chilling in this comp. Everyone else is going for the head of household power or these other power ups that are happening. One thing that was kind of unfortunate was that Rachel really wanted the head of household. She found an object, thought the key was too small to be head of household, drops it for Jimmy to end
Good,
up picking it up, and
not
then
good.
Jimmy wins head of household. That wasn't in the correct order, but that was the synopsis of Rachel literally had it in the power in her
Didn't
hands.
I thought he did get it first?
I don't remember if one of the power ups happened first. I do not
I'm
remember.
pretty sure he did get it first, like
Slay.
80%. I know that it was at least second,
Yeah. Yeah, it was
or
pretty early
at
on.
most second, I should say, because I know
And
that Kelly got hers last.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so now Ava has a friend once Jimmy wins head of household. They announce it too that I think they announced his name too because it makes sense. Everyone would know. But
Yeah.
they didn't announce, obviously, the names of those who got the power ups. So Rachel's gonna go back and watch that and probably like smack her forehead, and realize she was so close to it, but yet so far Jimmy ends up winning. And so we get more information about these power ups as well and who gets them. Keanu does get one of the power ups. I think he is the first one to get a power up. And the
Yes.
interesting, notable part of this is I'm pretty sure he then grabs Zach and brings Zach to another room to help
Yes.
him
I
try to
remember
find
this scene
something else.
specifically.
And like Zach kind of got a lot of information this week regarding who had what power because then he just kind of knows, well, like Keanu is obviously not looking for it for himself. I just got glitter all over my hand because I'm playing with the glitter thing. My special power up is being a disco ball, apparently.
Whee!
So shiny. But anyway, what? Zach gets this information
Yes.
that Keanu obviously isn't gunning for something himself. So he's going to help him out and look around. And then Zach also comes into play when Mickey ends up getting a power up as well because she's not looking to like yell out her name like, hello, yes, I am Mickey and I got this power up. But alas, she bumps into Zach, who hears her voice, and then
Hmm.
suddenly one of the little thingies go up and someone got a power, so he kind of realizes that it's her. Um, but one person is more vocal than the others, and unsurprisingly, it is the one and only Kelly, who ends up
Kelly.
getting her own power up. I do respect how proud she is of herself. But it is very interesting that this is another competition where it's very much like I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. There's a lot of I
Mhm.
did it. I respect it.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I also have a thought though, because I think she was so open about it because I don't know, maybe this completely slipped her mind. But the information was bound to get out in the first place because Jimmy was the one who showed her
Yeah.
where to put the thing. So
Mhm.
Jimmy knew that it was her
Yeah.
from the jump.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that he would have told many other people, even if she did try to keep it a secret. It'd
Mhm.
probably be pretty easy for word to get out that it was her. So
That's
maybe she just
true.
thought that, and she was like, "Okay, I might as well just parade it around."
And if that's the
But
case, I think that's
I
a
guess
pretty
we'll
good
never
call.
know.
Yeah, cuz
Yeah,
and it was really good for Jimmy too because like why would Jimmy realistically help out Kelly if not for his own personal gain?
to figure out who it was. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that was a really good move on his part as well. Because he's just thinking, like, obviously he's got to figure out who to put up, want to figure out who has the power. Maybe that'll influence who he puts on the block. So to find that out was good on his part. And then yeah, if she figured that out, you know what? She's daring, more daring than most. For she said, "Yeah, put me on the block, see if I care." She wants to be this season's Tucker, and so maybe that's part of it. So coming out of this competition, we have Jimmy as HOH, and we have powers for Keanu, Mickey, and Kelly. Now, we move on to, again, Kelly. Pretty much a lot of the house knows that she has this power. Her power is a mystery power of veto, where in the long run she has to do a little competition kind of similar to last season with Leah,
Yeah.
where she has the power to take someone off the block, someone else has got to go up. Keanu's power is he gets a lump to join the power of veto. Someone could join alongside him, and he doubles his chances of winning the POV. And then Mickey's, was like the investigator something head of household, where she basically could steal an entire head of household reign from the HOH.
That
so
was
long
crazy.
so long as she doesn't
So,
get
but
found out.
yeah, true. There is that.
What do you think about how equal these powers are, Chris?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, like we know what happens.
Yeah.
I guess we do know what happens. But either way, like any power that allows you to take power from the HOH is just inherently imbalanced
Mm-hmm.
compared to literally anything else you can give anybody.
Yeah.
Even if it's a veto, because a veto only keeps you safe for 1 week. Controlling the HOH lets you control the whole week.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess making it through 1 week because of the veto is like, yeah, but I mean, you could do the whole control thing, and it does like you are supposed to keep it a secret, but like, isn't that what you're normally supposed to do? Unless
Yeah.
you literally just like go in there and I'm still like in shock from the one they gave to Quinn last year,
Yeah.
where he could just be Ainsley for a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was crazy.
I remember we were talking about this literally this time last year about the
Was that this
power.
time? Oh, that was
Technically
when he
week
got it.
one.
I'm sure he got it,
Yes.
yeah, early on, and then he didn't use it until later.
Yeah, when he first got it, and then Mackenzie got a power, and we're like, how how equal is it? But
Hmm.
we also talked about the same thing when a couple of weeks ago Jimmy got to choose 4 people to play in the HOH comp, and then Zach won 10K. But then there ended up being an added layer to it, so at least it had something to do with the game for Zach. But similarly to Zach, I'm really sure that these 3 new power ups, you can use them for many weeks to come. I don't know if the cutoff maybe would have been jury, but I'm pretty sure that these power ups, like, they did not have to be used this week whatsoever. There were many weeks that these could have been used. Now, again, if you watch all the episodes, you know where this is going. But I will mention about the power ups, it's pretty much obvious to everyone that Kelly has one. A lot of people know that Keanu has one, despite him being a poor liar and looking people in the face saying, no,
No.
LOL. Because yes. And at this point in the game, Morgan is the only one who knows about Mickey's power. Now, if they're smart about this, nobody else will find out. If they're really smart about this, Morgan would probably pretend that she has the power so that future HOH does not know who has it. Will that happen? Who knows?
Oh no.
But we do know more about these other 2 powers. We know that Jimmy knows that they have them because Diva HOH, Evil Gay himself, puts up Keanu, Kelly, and Adrian. What do we think about these noms, Chris?
Uh, uh, Breaking news. Grass is green. Um, the sky is blue.
Yeah,
Uh, Water is not wet. Um,
just kidding. Unless.
um, but like the moment that he won, I was already mad because I knew that it was just going to be him complaining about freaking Keanu again
Yeah.
for an entire week because I just can't. We can talk more in depth about this when we get to the eviction because of something that was said. Um,
Mm-mm.
but it just like it makes no sense that everyone doesn't realize how dumb he is. Like he just does things and he lies to everyone. And but like he lies to their faces,
Who are you talking
and
about?
everyone believes it. Jimmy.
That Jimmy. Okay.
So does Keanu, but like he's
Okay.
real about it. Jimmy
Yeah.
thinks he's a saint, which is why I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Keanu is owning the fact that he's lying to people and
Mm-hmm.
using it as a way to get an advantage. Jimmy just thinks he's doing the like he's actually being truthful
Yeah.
and he's just lying. And I don't like it. It's really annoying.
I
It's
will
very
say,
annoying.
when I say this week I'm Team Jimmy, because in the end, I am. It is not as much that I want to see him succeed as much as I just want to see what mess is created. This
Yeah,
is
I
like
just don't
not
like listening to him either.
This is not too far from Angela last season. Angela, love Angela. I actually genuinely wanted to see her succeed, but kind of in the
Yeah.
level of like, this is the messy player. I want this person to stick around because mess is what I'm here for. I
And she
started,
was messy. I'm
yeah,
sorry to cut you off, but she
proceed.
was only messy because, and she owned it. She
Yeah.
never acted like she was the better person
Mm-hmm.
ever. She always owned it. And that's why you have to, like, if you're going to be messy, you can't just go halfway.
Yeah. It's a little bit. I do like Jimmy. He's a little bit performative. A little
I
bit.
don't even want, we don't even, that's another essay.
A
That's another
little,
essay I can
little
write.
performative with it, where I think he wants those really iconic moments, and
He's trying
then
too
at the
hard.
end of the day, it's like he's trying a little bit too hard.
Mhm.
And then he also seems like the kind of person who is trying to make a big move, and then he puts up the two people that pretty much the whole house would want up anyway. And I mean, he then puts up two people with powers, and he knows that they have the powers. And I guess, sure, he wants these powers to potentially be flushed out. I don't know if perhaps they could have actually been used to his advantage instead. I don't know if that was the
Yeah.
best move or not. I mean, at least at the end of the week, the powers are gone, and maybe they just don't know how the powers operate. Maybe they
Yeah.
could be used to help someone else down the line. Either way, he was very blinded by trying to get rid of these. And then he puts up Adrian as the third. I don't really get it. He just needed a third
I don't
person.
remember what the motivation was behind that.
Truthfully, I'm
Is
sure.
Adrian friends with anyone?
I don't even know. They just like put the guy up for like funsies at this point too. Um, I don't know. I think he kind of talks to the guys, but not really either, because all the guys seem to be closer to each
Yeah,
other.
they don't talk to him though.
Yeah, I don't know. But to comment again on the concept of flushing out the powers, because I've seen a lot of debate, and at the end I haven't fully decided what would have been better or worse, because on the opposite end, if he did not put up the people with the powers and they also didn't agree to use them to Jimmy's advantage in some level, then what if they ended up using their powers on other people that Jimmy would want to put up? I feel like it actually could have been a bigger mess. I don't know what you think,
I mean, it would
but
have created a bigger mess, but
which I would have
I
liked
don't
to have
think that,
seen.
yeah, I don't think that would have I would have been, it wouldn't have been a smart move though.
Yeah.
But like, would have been nice to see because
Yeah.
then Jimmy would be mauled in.
I think
He's
in
so
the end,
mad.
it actually could have been one of the better choices of his, because I mean, Kelly's already been on the block
Yeah.
once. I think regardless of if she had a power or not, she probably would have been up there anyway. Keanu is like a mostly the whole house target. Even something so little as they did that montage of him just showing up everywhere at all the time. Like Ava's like, I can't go in a room, and like Keanu shows up
He's
like
he's
30 seconds
he's
later.
always there.
And again, this is a household where if you take a shower that's too long, you're gonna end up on the block. It's the same kind of vibe. So anyway, Diva HOH with the long black gloves too. during the nomination ceremony. I'm
He
living for
tried
that.
so hard.
It's a little much.
He's trying so hard. And he's gonna keep trying if it keeps getting power unless somebody gets rid of him. It's
Mm.
gonna be a day that lives in amazingness.
And only time will tell. And
Yeah.
that's what we remember about last Sunday. Pretty much that's the important parts, because now we're gonna jump right into the Wednesday episode, where we talk all about the veto competition. And this one's fun
This was a fun
because
episode.
because the power-ups are gonna be in play. So Keanu decides to activate his veto power that allows some previous player to be in the house, and the only other person to be picked, Jimmy randomly chooses Ava, which I think is perfect considering the competition ends up being all of the participants dressing up as a giant plant.
Giant plant.
Giant plant with like a cute like bush hat with flowers on it that Ava wore like all week. All week. I saw pictures of her in it before the episode even aired, and I was like, "Oh, when did that get there? Like, did she like take
She got a
pieces from the
costume.
house? Like, what? Like, but it also seems so normal for her at the same time. Gave an appropriate amount of context to it, so she's been parading that hat around, and so Keanu activates this power, and I kind of spoiled this for me before the episode. Did you know who was there? Who joined the comp before the
No,
episode?
but I did like I was like trying to think. We were talking about it like with my family, and I was like, I think it's either gonna be like Michael or Casey.
Mm-hmm.
I had a feeling it would be Michael, like first and foremost for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why. I just thought it would be.
Yeah.
But like also Casey. I think, but well, Michael won a lot of vetoes because they said it was like a comp beast. So like
I
Casey is like the comp beast.
yeah. I think Michael's
I miss her.
like one he's right, like if of the most won competitions, I think he's at like the very top. Like top 3 if not the most, because also they just had like a lot of competitions that season 2. Unfortunately for myself, I didn't really give myself the opportunity to think about who it could be before I found out who it was. Again, this house is so stuck on Tucker because apparently a bunch of them thought that it could have been him. I think it would have been really funny
I would have
if,
been really cool if it was him though.
yeah,
It would have been super cool if it was him. I miss him.
I do love Tucker. He was a lot of fun, but I also follow him, and that whole week he was in New York, so I was
Oh,
assuming it wasn't him. So I kind of spoiled that too, but again, I found out a couple days before because everyone was talking about none other than the BB20 winner, Casey, who enters the game.
Casey.
Again, I haven't seen Casey since BB20 because what is the show that she's been on so much? The Challenge, I believe.
I think
And
so.
I am personally not a viewer of the Challenge.
Yes,
So,
it is the challenge because I was looking up how many competitions both of them won. Michael does have tied for the most wins. He has 9. She has
yeah.
8.
Ooh.
So,
So they got second best, maybe. No, I think Casey's awesome.
okay, but
I
Casey's still
yeah.
awesome.
I like truthfully, so BB20 was what, 2018 then, I'm assuming. It was fully like 7 seasons
Yeah.
ago. And I don't remember the
Oh my
specifics
gosh.
gameplay like of that season as much as I remember Casey being a comp beast. Um and I like the tattoos, and I love LGBT. So I was always rooting for Casey. And so to see her back on my TV screen was beautiful.
My
And I was so happy to see that she was back. And I just think it's really funny where it's like this really incredible comp beast, like lots of tattoos, muscular, wouldn't mess with her, dressed as a bush. That's what they did.
Their outfits were so funny.
It was so funny, and everyone was so excited to see Casey, obviously a legend. You know, minus one or two that like I don't think like Ashley has ever seen like old Big Brother in her life, which is funny that I just said that BB20 is old because it's not, but then it's also like
No,
fully
literally,
7
it's
years
not,
ago with
but it is.
others. Half
Yeah.
of the house has only seen the last two seasons, if that. I mean, you have Zay
Really?
that literally said that he watched last season and
Well,
the rest of it he used AI. He used Chat GPT to tell him how to play Big Brother.
wait,
Did you know
is
about
that
that?
canon?
That is canon.
No.
He told people that in his interview. I watched his interview with Rob and Taryn. Rob has a podcast. They get the opportunity to interview them after, and Zay like literally just was like, "Yeah, I use that to help guide me through the show." It's incredible to me because I feel like this cast in particular, it is pretty much split. You are either a diehard super fan or you've seen maybe two seasons. What the heck?
2 seasons.
But
That's cool.
I
What
know.
the heck?
And so a lot of them have never touched BB20. There are some others that watch highlight reels, which we could also talk about a little bit. We'll get to that in a little while. But
Oh,
hmm.
yeah.
And so the half of the house that knows Casey, they're very excited to see her. The funniest thing was everyone clapping again, some of them dressed as bushes, and Jimmy is wearing a bush costume looking so miserable, and I thought it was one of the funniest moments because he's obviously excited to see such a well-known competitor, but is so upset because she is a well-known competitor competing for one of his nominees. This competition was, I enjoyed it because they also had Miss Felicia back. I loved Miss
Yes.
Felicia. I'm so glad that they brought her back, even just like a little bit. You know, this is the 25th anniversary, the 25th year of Big Brother. Let's do some things. Let's bring some people back. And in the same episode, they bring back Casey. They also bring Miss Felicia. I thought the comp was funny. She's funny.
That
She
was really funny.
she
Yeah.
live streamed during the episode. I didn't get the chance to watch it, but she was so excited to be a part of it
Really.
again. I love her. I miss her. She was fun.
Yeah.
She was fun.
Croutons.
That was like it was so extra, but I think she was the perfect person to deliver it. And the entire time
Oh, yeah.
in my house, we're waiting for Creeper, and my brother and I just kept going, "Aw, man," and that was the entire competition
Oh
for
man, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
me.
Oh
Aw, man.
man.
So,
Creepo.
aw, man. And so they play this comp. It was interesting. Like, I don't want to like kind of pressure cooker esque in the sense that you gotta like press this thing, but not nearly
Keep
as
your hand on the
long.
thing, yeah.
And I thought it was
And in a very
really
awkward position.
very awkward position. Again, dressed as a bush.
Very awkward.
I thought it was like
True.
movie moment drama when Jimmy accidentally lets go of the button and Keanu's like, ha, 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 ha,
That
ha.
was so funny. I was so happy. And then the second after, I cannot believe that happened.
Yep.
Why? How did he even do that? Like Jimmy fully lifted his hand off, but then right after that, freaking Keanu decides to slip and move
Hmm.
his hand off too.
I couldn't have written it better
But
myself.
like, I was really mad. I was hoping he was gonna take it, because if he won, like obviously everybody knows the outcome. I would hope that if you are listening to this, you know the outcome of this HOH himself. Like getting carried by one of the greatest people to ever play a competition, Big Brother, is not a flex.
Mm-hmm.
You got carried
Yeah.
and you false started.
It's one thing if you don't run across in time. I would lose just
Yeah.
based on that part alone.
If you got the chance to run, like,
The timing of it was incredible. And again, I fear that this season, even more than I am on the side of an individual house guest, I am on the side of drama and chaos.
mhm,
And I
mhm.
did personally like that because I had a feeling that the outcome was going to be the outcome no matter what. If it was Adrian and Casey at the end, which happened, or Casey and Keanu at the end, I think Casey was always going to be the one to take it anyway. It just would have been like, oh, so playful for someone like Keanu if it was just him and Casey at the very end. But alas, a false start was done. And unfortunately for him, Adrian comes in second in yet another competition. My man, bro, I feel for him.
Very, very close too.
Super close. So,
Super
like,
close.
we gotta
You
check the
could
tape.
tell, like they checked the tapes, like, but you could tell she won, but it was still like they were still close
Yeah.
because I think he like missed too. Well, he
Yeah.
didn't miss. Actually, that no, that's a lie because would have if he missed, then they wouldn't have checked the tapes. I'm lying.
I think they would
But
have
either way, it was
shown it
close.
anyway. It was
Yeah,
very close because, if anything, he beat all the other people that legitimately tried or false
yes.
started.
False started.
And so I know, like, we're kind of forgetting the original reason why Adrian was put on the block because, in the end, it ends
There
up
was none.
insignificant. If there was, I think
Yeah.
Jimmy was literally like, I gotta put someone else up. I think people, I don't want them to start looking at him because I personally like Adrian. I want to see
Yeah.
him succeed. I want to see him get far in the game. He needs to do that wall competition if it's the last thing
He
that he
needs to do the
does.
walk.
I need that moment to happen. And hopefully he's like not the first person to fall or anything.
I'm sure
Um,
he won't be.
no, he's prepared
There's
for it.
no way there's actually no way. Like
I,
if you're
yeah.
practicing
Mm-hmm.
on every Wednesday,
Walk off
if you
Wednesday.
have Wall Comp Wednesday at your home, I would hope that you're at least gonna get top three.
Yeah. I just need him to make it that far. And so I
Yes.
hope that the other house guests don't realize that though I feel for him because he keeps coming in second in a lot of competitions. Spoiler, I mean he wins a competition. I don't want people to start noticing like, hey, he's not winning everything, but he's coming really close. So maybe we should continue to target him and put him on the block. Sir, please do not. That's what Chris feel. He's getting really
Mole, I didn't watch the HOH competition.
what? Uh,
Let's move on.
I didn't spoil anything. I didn't spoil anything. I'm talking about
Oh,
the
oh, you're
blockbuster.
talking about this week. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about
That's
that.
okay. No, I spoiled
Yeah.
Thursday. But again, if you're listening to our show, I hope that you caught up. Or if you didn't, then you're good to these spoilers. But no, no, I do. I haven't watched the
I
HOH
fully
comp,
forgot about that.
but we'll get into it. We're gonna recap it in just a little bit. But but the outcome of this veto comp, Adrian comes in second again, and none other than duh, Casey ends up winning the competition, which means that she wins it for Keanu. So
So does that
technically,
mean
he's
she
got to veto.
technically has the most competition win or what like now she's tied for the third well, not tied for third, but there's three people who all have nine competition wins.
Wow, that's a
I
great
don't know
point.
who the
Yeah,
other one is,
no, that has to count.
but it's Michael.
Michael
And
is Janelle up there?
I might be Janelle.
Most Big Brother comp wins. That has to count, even though technically Keanu got the
Jag.
power. Oh.
Jag won 10? Oh, so now she's tied for second. Now he's tied for second. That
Mm-hmm.
Google freaking the Google overview was wrong. The one about Michael.
Oh, it was an AI overview.
And it was
Come
wrong.
on, you can't trust any of that.
Literally.
Um, but
I didn't know
also,
that Jag won 10 competitions because I didn't watch the season.
oh my gosh,
Me
yeah,
when I didn't watch Big Brother 25.
that's okay.
Uh,
Yeah, he won a lot of power of vetoes that season. Yeah, the ones that come up the most, it's Jag, Janelle, Michael, and Casey. Paul is brought up too. Shout out to Paul. Love Paul. I think it would count. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. I don't know if these records include like in a single season. But I think it would count towards a win in the same way that I'm sure Nicole has a lot because she was on a whole bunch. Janelle obviously was on for what, at least 3 seasons,
Janelle
I
has
believe.
9.
And so I think this counts as another one for Casey. She didn't get to use the power, but it doesn't matter. She won another competition. I don't think this counts towards Keanu whatsoever. However, it did help him in this case because he is awarded a power of veto to use. And so naturally, we go to the ceremony, and he ends up using it on himself. Comes off the block. Shocker! And now Jimmy is faced with having to put somebody else on the block. He kind of he puts up Amy. I don't know how I feel about it. Amy was, you know, she's been up there before. And so naturally, it's just easy to put her back up there.
That's how it
She
always is.
and
But like I don't really care because it's Amy,
I
but with
guess.
Will, that
Mm-mm.
was messed up. That was so messed up.
Personally, I haven't fully decided if I am rooting for Rachel yet or not. I think to see a someone win again, I think would be really interesting. I think it would be, legendary. I'm excited to still see her play as someone who doesn't I was too young to really remember her first seasons, and I wasn't as invested in the show cuz I was like 7 probably. So I was kind of just bummed that it's like, oh yeah, Amy, you're just going up because of your proximity to Rachel, which I just think is very strange because Jimmy has, I believe, a decent relationship with Rachel. The only good play is like, yeah, if I get rid of Amy, then maybe I could be her number one, which I don't know if he even brought to light. Like, I don't know if he is, that is the reason why I don't know if he's trying to play that move, you know, try to be like,
Yeah.
oh, if she's gone, then Rachel could be closer to me. Because week 1, 2, like he was so upset that she was even in the house, and now they're kind of chilling. And if I'm Rachel, and like I'm trying to work with Jimmy, and then Jimmy gets out my closest ally, why would I want to work closer with him if he's gonna do stuff that just serves him and not me? So I don't know. For the house, probably was one of the better moves for him individually, at least regarding Rachel. I don't know if it necessarily was.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
why are we blatantly disregarding um the fact that Keanu quite possibly came up with the best idea for that week?
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy thought about putting Rachel up
Yeah.
and he didn't. But
Yeah.
me personally, I thought that would have been the best move for
Mm-hmm.
everyone. No, every single person in that house is deathly afraid of her.
Yeah.
And they don't make any moves. They could easily corner her and
Mm-hmm.
just get her out together. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess there's people who are connected to her, but nobody is connected to her as like a day one other than Amy.
And then they could have just taken Amy, who would have been alone by herself, maybe with
They could have just
Ashley.
nominated both of them.
Yeah.
Put both of them up
I think
and
the
send Rachel
only
home. And what's Amy gonna do
I
if
know.
Rachel goes home realistically?
I think the fear for Jimmy then was he is gonna try to rely on Rachel bringing him more, but she hasn't won anything yet.
She's also not gonna bring him anything. She's selfish. She only plays her own game.
Which is good for her.
That's good. Yeah, but I'm saying like he
But it's
doesn't
true.
know that. It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense that he doesn't realize that not and it echoes for everyone in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Echoes for him and Keanu, him and Vince, him
Mm-hmm.
and all the other people he's aligned with. He doesn't run their games,
Yeah.
but he thinks he does.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many things.
Yeah.
I have
He
so many things
also
that I don't like about
he wants
him.
his really big moment. He wants his like throwing the sunglasses across the floor and whatever. He wants to obviously seems like he wants to be this legendary player. Sure, yeah, some people
But
would be
he's not
upset
making
if
any big
Rachel's not in there.
moves.
But if he makes a big move, I think there's a lot of respect there. I
Exactly.
think it would kind of be a flop
It's
in the season if
counterintuitive.
they get rid of her this early, but that doesn't matter to him. It shouldn't matter to
That
him. What should
doesn't matter to
matter
any of
is
them. It
being
shouldn't matter
the
to any of
winner.
them.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I have to agree. I agree.
Yes.
And so regardless of what we think, he puts up Amy and the ceremony is over. But wait.
Not quite.
2 out of 2 veto ceremonies in BB27. Hold my beverage. I have something else to
Hold my
say.
beverage.
And then Kelly decides to activate her mystery veto. Dun dun dun! And so the ceremony is over, but the game is not. This week is not over because Kelly has the opportunity to play in another mini game to potentially take her or someone else off of the block. But before we get into that, I think we should take a little break. What do you think, Chris?
Perhaps. A
Perchance,
little one.
a little teeny tiny
Small
one, maybe less than the duration of her competition. We shall be right back. We're still back. So back. What a refreshing little break before we get into the competition. So where we left off was Kelly just activated her mystery veto game. And in this competition, 2-minute competition, she basically just has to put together this little puzzle and then she gets another power veto. She gets her second chance at a veto comp. A lot of people were thinking back to BB20 with Caitlin's competition, where she also had to put together a puzzle, and then it flopped, and it's kind of iconic for how much that flopped, and she kind of just wasted half of the time just panicking. And I can't blame her because I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah, but the puzzle is so simple.
Yeah. But
it was so simple.
It was
supposed to be like
even
a layup.
It was even easier this year,
Yeah,
in my
it was.
opinion.
It was
Because
definitely significantly easier this year.
circular puzzle, and she had to assemble it vertically, but there were poles that she could at least use. I think this comp was stupid easy.
And she also still failed very miserably
Are you talking about
towards the
Caitlyn?
end. No,
Yeah, it was
Kelly.
weird.
When she
I'm
started
like,
trying to put the one on, it like what obviously
girl.
wasn't fitting, or it did fit, and she just took it off.
Yeah.
She didn't even check to see if it like fit completely.
I
But
think that being in the game itself, there is a level of panic that we're just
yeah,
watching it and we're like,
but why
well,
didn't she just
duh.
like go around and check to see?
Well, I was under the assumption that it is double-sided. Like, you could
That
probably
too.
see
I
it
mean,
there
even if it
too. So
was
she could have seen it.
double-sided.
I'm
Yeah.
going to believe that it was a panic moment where she wasn't quite sure, but the truth is she had so much time
Yeah.
left over at the end of this too to finish the comp. However, she could
However,
have miserably flopped. There is some room
truth.
for error. If I am like losing my marbles and I'm like in a panic state, I think there's a good chance that you do
Yeah.
flop at it, but I feel like the odds were very much in the favor of her winning,
Yeah.
and she did the thing. I mean, also because we saw her the week prior in the Blockbuster where she kind of killed it and she had that like whatever that sassy pose was at the end, where I'm like, okay, go off, Kelly, whatever. So, um, I don't know. The comp was fine. It reminded me of Scooby Doo because they used like the colors of the bus. It just reminded me of that. Which maybe that was their point because there was
Maybe.
it's all hotel mystery and or Mystere apparently.
Mystere.
Mystere.
Yes.
Okay, okay, Julie, go off. I had it like Mystere in all caps question mark in my notes from last week. Um, fine, Mystere, but good for Kelly though. I can't discredit her. Am I rooting for her? Not necessarily, but she
I
is
like
interesting
her.
to watch. So she put herself in a really poor spot where, I mean, if it was a strategic play from her and Vince to make it seem like they're not as close as they really are, she still put herself in a really bad spot because she's just going to be used as a pawn over and over again because she could win comps. And Tucker's downfall was that, yeah, you could win comp after comp after comp, and then one day you lose.
Yes.
So unfortunately, she put her in a spot where at least the trajectory of her game is she's in this spot where you have to win 100% of the time, or you're gonna find yourself in a really bad
I
spot.
think Keanu is kind of in that spot.
Yeah,
I think he's in that spot more than she is, to be honest.
and
I don't think
to
anyone's looking at her that hard.
maybe not. I don't
I guess we'll
know.
have to see what happens
And
next week.
truthfully, right now, I don't even know who the nominees are for for the upcoming week. Because I figured I would be very stuck on that if I knew that information. But at least with Keanu though, I think he should be in that spot even more so because of the fact that he didn't win the power veto. He
Yeah.
did, but he didn't. Sure, he won that mystery in the dark room challenge where he got the power in the first place, but I also think a lot of that is honestly based on luck. Um, though other people didn't find it, whatever you may say. But Kelly does come out with this win, and she decides to use it on herself. What? What? If she was really Tucker, she'd use it on somebody else. Just kidding. She actually this I mean it was an obvious move. Like use it on yourself. Don't be so super focused on
Probably would have went
being
home if she didn't.
yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That would have been the end of her game. So good for her. Did the normal thing that you should do. But
We're
alas,
so Tucker brained.
go Tucker brain. But I get nervous because she's just mentioning him like every day, supposedly. As far as I've heard, she's a huge Tucker fan. Tucker, I believe, said thought that she was gonna be the first boot, and now he's like turned around, but I think it's because she's such a big fan of his. But I'm glad that she didn't go the route of using the veto on somebody else. Not this early in the game. Save yourself. And if you've won more competition, now she's won two. There's a good chunk of the house that has won nothing. You're a target regardless if it's socially, if it's competition wise, take yourself off. So at least she didn't take that page out of Tucker's book this week. She takes herself off. Jimmy has to name a fifth person as the nominee that goes on the block. And now we get back to your comment from before. You sound a little bit upset about this third nominee. Tell me about your thoughts on none other than Captain Will.
Uh,
Yep.
I can't believe he would ever do that. And he didn't even have any reason to do it. I
Hmm.
know for a fact he didn't have any reason to do it because he literally just put them up because they were older and
Hmm.
because they had, well, I feel like everybody likes him.
Yeah.
Everyone likes him. Maybe not Jimmy because he's evil, but I don't know. But like it was just the thing. He literally just did it because it was the thing to do,
Yeah.
not because it was a smart move. Even though he could have made a much bigger move. He wants to be an icon so bad.
Yeah. And he went
Doesn't
with the
even want to
safest options.
contemplate putting Rachel on the block.
Hmm.
He thought about it for like 2 seconds, I'm sure. And he just forgot about it. And he went in the diary room and yapped about like he was gonna friggin' think about it. He's a liar.
I think so. As much as I'm again here for the drama, it's not fulfilled. It's like
It's not
it's
fulfilling at all.
so
Angela was way
drama.
better at it.
She was authentic with it. She went
Angela was
through,
authentic.
lost her marbles. The marbles she didn't even consider packing them. And Jimmy is like, I don't have my marbles. What do you have behind your back, Jimmy? He's got the marbles. I hope you like my analogy. And so it's true.
No,
It's
you're
like
right.
through and through, he wants to be this big player. He's throwing the sunglasses. He's trying to come up with these really extravagant lines and one-liners and whatever that Keanu just
So
like
cringe.
down.
They're so cringe.
I am
They're
not
so cringe.
I am not rooting for Keanu at this point, but the
Me
fact
neither.
that he just so quickly clocks
I
Jimmy
am though.
every time, I am living for that. Because again, more than I'm rooting for anyone individually, I'm rooting for the chaos. That's what I like. And good for Keanu doing like pretending to fall asleep during the nomination ceremony. I think it's just so funny. He could care
So
less.
funny.
And Jimmy just wants to be evil. But he's really not because, like you said, he ends up putting up really basic nominees. I don't see really any reason for any of these people to go at this point. I want Adrian to stay. I don't think there's any reason for Will to be on the block. I selfishly want Amy to stay because she's on my draft team. And I feel like she could help Rachel where I still haven't decided if I really want her to win or not. I don't want to see Rachel leave yet. I want to keep watching her. But I also would respect if somebody got her out. Jimmy wants to be this like tough guy in the house who put up the most basic nominees. And like you said, for real, like what is the reason to put up Will?
What is the reason to put up Amy or Will? Well, I mean, I guess he had more of a reason to put up Amy, but why don't you just put up Amy and Rachel?
Mm-hmm. Because that would draw a line in the sand, and he's too afraid to do that. But he wants to
Yes,
come off like he's not.
but he wants to come off like he's not.
Yes. However, I also have to say, like, if I was in the house, I think I'd be scared out of my mind. I also don't think I'd win HOH at this point because I wouldn't be good at any of the competitions. But so on one hand, I get it. On the other hand, I'm like, if you're trying to paint yourself in a certain way, just do the thing. He's not doing the thing, and so be it. I don't know. I am bummed out at these nominations. Before we get into the Thursday episode, though, there's a couple more little plot points that I wrote down. One thing though regarding Jimmy, we're annoyed with Jimmy. He's trying to be like he's trying to play this big great game, and he's not really delivering. And Morgan and Mickey take note of that because we talked about the Triple Threat Alliance that was brought up in the very first week, and now already Mickey and Morgan we're seeing get a little closer to one another. Mickey literally just told Morgan that she has this third power up that nobody else knows about, at least at this point in time. And they're doubting their allegiance, Jimmy's allegiance to them because they don't care for these nominations. I'm really sure that he was like, so who should I put up? And they keep naming all these other people. And his go-to thing was like, no, it's too soon. It's too soon to get rid of someone like Rachel. I'm
It's
pretty
not too
sure.
soon to get rid of anyone. When is it ever too soon to get rid of somebody?
I think, again, it was very, very,
I don't understand that kind of mindset.
we just said,
It's if any, it can only ever be too late. It can only
yes!
ever be too late.
Yes! Exactly!
It can only ever be too late. It's never too soon.
Mm,
Because when they're gone, they're gone.
yeah.
Unless they get battled back.
Mm-hmm.
But what are the odds you
But,
get battled? Like, there's like the odds you get battled back is like
mm-hmm.
-2.
They're not even bringing that up as far as I know. It's
I'm sure
not
they're
like
not.
we're worried about this person coming back and,
They
hungry for
just say
revenge. They're just
it's
saying,
too
like,
soon, like it has any kind of weight.
mm,
There's no weight to that statement. You're
yeah.
saying grass is green. You're saying we like that's not true. It's not a
Yeah.
fact. That's not a fact. It's never too soon. I misspoke. I meant to say that. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I think last season
I'm
too.
so.
Mm, yeah, smacks forehead.
I'm tired. I'm tired, boss.
Last season too, when Matt was on the block, I know that obviously there was the whole Crazy Eyes incident, but people were thinking too, like Matt seems like a really good competitor. Maybe this season is the season where we get the muscular guy out week one, and let's see what that does. And they actually did it. It wasn't too soon. If he stayed in the game, who knows? He could have crushed it. I have no clue. Nobody knows because they got rid of him.
Because
They
he's
didn't give him the
gone.
opportunity to dominate in the competitions because they got rid of him. And one of the big things that I keep hearing everyone repeat is just that exactly where he's like, it's too soon to get rid of certain people. Apparently, Riley's name was brought up a lot, and he also said a lot like, oh, it's too soon to get rid of Riley. I don't understand that, like, at all. I don't know why he's like,
Yes.
I personally don't know why he's worth anyone's time, even. I don't really care for Riley as a player at this point in the game. But
The only
he
people
put
who
up
it
such
would ever,
nothing nominees.
yes, the only people who would ever be too soon to nominate are floaters because you
Mm,
save them for the end. That's when that statement means something.
yeah.
Because if you say that about someone who you're scared of, it makes no sense. It's counterintuitive.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate it when people do that because it's like, are you even self-aware? Are you listening to yourself? Are
Because
you listening to the words that are coming out of your mouth?
when he says that specifically about someone like Riley, I don't see like
He's not a floater. He can
he
win.
he
He
could
has the
win,
potential to win.
but the
I
only
know that he has.
reason to not get rid of him then, if you think that he is someone that's going to win, is if you utilize him to your advantage. Oh, he's going to win games for me. He's going to keep me safe. Right
But
now,
he's not.
Riley's only allegiance that I know of is he would self evict for Catherine, as far as I
Yeah.
know right now. Catherine's close to
Mm.
Lauren. There's a group of three. I don't know who else Riley is like genuinely aligned with because also, side note, I don't think there's like any alliance that exists in this house that exists. Like,
I thought that's what I kind of sort of touched on, but I
yeah,
kind of went off of that. But like that's what I was trying to say
because
in the beginning of the episode.
I
But like you're
literally,
right.
yeah. I mean, we just mentioned, like, I'm literally forgetting the names of the alliances because they're so insignificant.
They're
I
very
only remember
wishy-washy.
Triple Threat because I was rooting for the three of them. Well, it doesn't matter now because Morgan and Mickey are, like, much closer to each other. I literally have a note on my desk in front of me about the Heavy Hitters Alliance. It was originally Rachel, Jimmy, Vince, Zach, Morgan, and Riley, reminding me that yes, Riley is technically aligned with the Heavy Hitters Alliance,
But
but I
that's not
don't
an
even think it
alliance.
exists anymore.
Nobody even talks about it.
It's such old news, and the only people that have talked about it are all the other podcasters that I watch because they're on every day, and now it's like it's gone. It's just nothing matters. Nobody is genuinely aligned to a group of people, which is chaos, and I kind of do like that. Again,
Yeah,
as
I
a
don't like big
viewer,
alliances anyway.
I don't want there to be like one giant alliance that just dominates the whole time, but my point in bringing this up, side rant, I suppose, is just I don't know who Riley is truly aligned with. It would be one thing if Jimmy is trying to tell Mickey and Morgan, yeah, it's too early to get rid of Riley because secretly Jimmy has Riley Comp Beast in his back pocket. But first of all, I don't see Comp Beast. And not that he said
Yeah,
that, but just hypothetically. And second of all,
yeah,
I don't see Riley like working for Jimmy. I don't know if
for
Riley
sure.
is even worth getting rid of to rant over, but there's no point in putting up Will. But maybe he's thinking like, oh well, Will isn't going to come after me because he can't win, and then he's afraid to put up Riley. But if you're afraid to put up Riley, and then you want to go in the diary room and try to tell America that you were maybe possibly thinking of putting up Rachel, I don't believe it for 1 second. Just like to your point that you said
That's what
before.
I was. It's
Exactly.
so performative. It's
Yeah.
so performative, and I just am. It just makes me angry because,
Mm-hmm.
like, there comes a time where you listen to the things that you say, and you just realize that you're just chatting. He
Mm-hmm.
just chats.
Yeah.
Like, there's no. It's not fun to watch like Angela because Angela, I mean, it all comes back to the fact that he owns it and he
Yeah.
just doesn't own it. He's he's fake, he's dumb, he doesn't listen to what he says, he tries to make moves, he's cringe, heavy on the cringe. Uh,
Alas.
I love hating.
I love hating too, but I do love he is also a hater. I want to see more of that. Again, I just want to see what Jimmy does next, so I'm rooting for him to stick around for a little bit.
Hopefully he
But
makes a move.
that's the
If you
thing.
make a move, if he makes a move, my tune can change.
Yeah.
My tune will change if you put Rachel up. My tune will change if you can beat Keanu and keep him off of the on the block.
Hmm.
My tune will change if anything but
Yeah.
what has currently gone on. I guess it's early, but and we'll have to figure it out. But
It's
man,
it's like last week Jimmy was very involved in Vince's HOH. And then no offense to Vince, it kind of ended up just being like whatever. I think down the line, maybe Zay would have been a comp piece, who knows?
I think it was successful. I
I
think Zay was a fair target for week
yes.
one. It was like
Hmm.
Matt.
But a
It
lot
was
of
like
people
Matt.
were saying that it was a bad HOH. I think it was just
I don't agree in the
I
slightest.
think
It
it
was
was
the
a
first
week
HOH.
it was a week one and he
Yeah,
got out someone that could potentially does
that's the
he know
only
the
thing you
game?
can do.
No. But yeah, I feel like he got rid of someone that had potential. I think putting Kelly up was dumb and he's lucky about the outcome
He's
because
very
either way
lucky that didn't bite him in the butt.
but it happened. It
Yeah.
happened. It worked out in his favor. And so everyone who was super mad about Vince's first HOH, I think he left it. He's not even on Jimmy's radar. He's just
Yeah.
chilling.
No blood.
And Jimmy had to put up a third of the house, and he wasn't even in the running for someone who was going to be put on the block. I think that anyone who was upset about Vince's first HOH needs to look at Jimmy's and realize how good they had it the week before because Jimmy went through nominated so many people and all this stuff happened just to get to the basics on the block. No offense to Amy and Will being the older people, but just like you said, like
He
naturally they
just
go
did
on the
it just
block.
because.
Unless you're someone like
Yes.
Amy, like Angela, because she did that to herself, just like taking herself off, got to the point where other people take her off. She was a huge character. Unfortunately, Amy just her all we know is that she is aligned with Rachel. Will, literally the only thing is that he's older. And
He's
the
older.
only thing I could think of then is that, yeah, sure, Jimmy made an enemy out of Will. And I don't think Ava's going to forget that either. Because Ava and Will, even if they're not technically in an alliance of some kind,
Is anyone
they're
in an
close.
alliance with each other? Is
No, no, they just have
anyone
friends.
really in an alliance with each other? Everyone's just friends.
And,
Well,
and I
not
get it.
everyone.
And that's fine. And that's whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that.
So, rants, rants. Now,
Also,
yes.
yeah, no, we continued ranting, but I just was gonna say that I feel like it even adds to the point even further about making bigger moves because if you're like not aligned, you don't piss off a bunch of other people If
Mm-hmm.
you like, say you do put up Rachel. Theoretically, you put up Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Who else gets mad? One person. Who else has
Mm-hmm.
game reason to get mad?
Yeah.
One person.
And clearly he doesn't care that
I
much
rest
about
my
that one
case.
person anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point.
Let's
One
continue.
one other thing that we have to bring up about Wednesday before we get into Thursday is we're talking about how much these characters have seen the show. And again, I say that they really just watched last season or they've watched almost every season. And then there's Keanu.
Oh
And
yeah.
so
Hmm.
he I think he said like he's watched a season or two or whatever, and then he watched some highlights, which is funny because he names a lot of important BB historical figures in his preseason interviews. I think he was the one mentioning like Kaser and whoever, and then we're like to think, oh, he's seen a lot of seasons. He's just watched highlight reels of the previous seasons of Big Brother. Rachel is trying to get to know Keanu and his relationship with the game and asks how much he's seen of her seasons in the past, and he failed miserably. If I don't even know if this was a test. I don't think this was even a test, and he still failed. She was just curious about it, and
Yeah, that was just dumb.
I don't even have words. I don't
I
have
thought it was
clean
funny.
words.
Well, I didn't think it was funny. I was kind of mad because that was really stupid, but like the fact that he said that was funny
Yeah, but it's
because it's like, okay, I don't like you, Rachel, but
oh my god, yeah. Well, it's like I'm also gathering that like Ashley there's a bunch of things that were more so on the live feeds than what they're showing in the show, where it seems like she really doesn't have a filter and she doesn't understand fully how her words can be received by other people. She doesn't know how to read the room.
Rachel,
Ashley.
Ashley.
Like, that side note, like, I know it turns out that the shower wasn't actually that long, but it seemed like
Yeah.
she was kind of oblivious to the fact that the shower was still longer than she said it was gonna be. But my point in saying that is I feel like Keanu very much also had a moment of not being able to read the room because he begins to recite insults from previous house guests. What was it? It was Reagan and it was Hayden,
Reagan and Hayden, the one where he was like, "Can you say a sentence without using the word like?"
which is
Which he ate
hilarious.
her up
Like,
on that one.
clocked her. I think that's so
Mhm.
funny. I didn't even remember that quote when he recited it.
I
Um,
do remember because I saw that clip like right before the season aired after.
I think it's kind of funny.
It's
So
kind of
props to Hayden, but he recites this to Rachel and then is confused when she gets up and storms away. We were talking about it in my household,
that was
and we
so
brought up
dramatic.
like, do I mean, but also like I don't want to be sitting there when somebody is insulting me or reciting insults, and it should be so obvious that that's
Yeah.
hurtful and something that you shouldn't do unless you're trying to get under someone's skin. We're talking about it, and I think Rachel interpreted it as understandably so, where this is only something that you do to someone that you want to insult yourself. But the unfortunate thing about Keanu is I don't even think I don't want to say he's
Didn't
a dumb
really.
person, but he was dumb here.
He
He
was dumb there.
he in this moment in time was not smart enough to realize that's what he could have been doing. And so that's where I think it was complete oversight. Didn't didn't put two and two
Hmm.
together whatsoever. And I think she has
Crazy.
every right to be upset about it. And it's crazy because like last week she wanted to work with him.
Yeah.
And now we're here. All because of stuff that he's done that he didn't even do intentionally, but is still ridiculous.
They were like friggin' hugging and having like deep convos
Mm-hmm.
in the storage room like 3 days ago, bro.
Yeah. And here we are.
And geez, that was ridiculous.
Yeah. So that is the last important part that I want to bring up in Wednesday because unfortunately it shows that Rachel's still Rachel, and that he really messed up their relationship. And we've been talking this whole time about, like, does Jimmy want to use Rachel to his advantage or not? Are people in the house trying to use her to their advantage? Well, Keanu just ruined any shot at that. So he is not aligned with her whatsoever, even though at the very beginning she was kind of chill with him and wanted to work with him. So
And he
that's gone.
literally needs the numbers too, which is this like even like crazier part.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the back foot. Don't really know where exactly he is at the moment. Like I can't tell. Can you tell? Like last week it was we all hate you. Like the entire house. It feels like the entire house doesn't like him. And it
Yeah.
feels like now it's not really as strong of a sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like when
I
Tucker was public enemy number one, like you could feel the aura throughout the house like all the
yeah.
time. Now it doesn't like right now it doesn't feel like everybody hates Keanu. Even after he said that thing about like
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take you out all one by one, which was so no, why did you say that?
I think, unfortunately for him, that something like that is going to stick with people when it comes time for someone else to come in power. Now, I do not know who the nominees are, but I think, yeah, going in front of everyone saying, like, I'm going to take you out one by one, it's one of
Like
those
that is the
things
point of the
where,
game.
like, yes,
But you don't
but
say
don't
that.
say that to everyone, because even the few people who are probably thinking that they're somewhat aligned with him, if not closely, at least like partially, like they're not on the opposite side of the house, they're like, hold up. Like, I know that you want to win. I want to win. If you are outright telling me that you're going to get rid of me, I don't like you. And so, unfortunately for him, he has to really, in my opinion, he's going to have to bank on someone else doing something dumber and more, like, showy to not be the target going into the following week. Because we're still in a place where people have made so few waves that the next person to take a 2 hour shower is also on the block.
Yeah.
So I see a future where Keanu's gonna really I don't even think he could work hard at making sure that he is not the target as much as he's going to have to hope that someone else makes a bigger target out of themselves. I think he's still I think he's still an enemy because there aren't that many.
Yeah.
Alas,
And alas, we will see.
we shall see.
We shall see.
But he's not out this past week.
True.
He's not even on the block. As we jump into Thursday. Thursday. So what happened on Thursday? I really just have notes about the competition because
Yeah, that's all it was.
That's all it really was.
They got
And
straight to it.
we have Will and Amy and Adrian playing the Puzzling Prince Blockbuster comp. Going into this, I pretty much think that Will is in such a great spot that he doesn't have to win this competition. I think that he's safe no matter what. So the winner of this comp really determines whether it's Adrian or Amy that goes home. Now, if Will won it, I don't know what would have happened. But alas, he did not.
He didn't. He did not do well either.
Did not do well. And Adrian did not come in second. He came in first. What is a funny kind of Easter egg kind of moment was that recently, definitely last year, on social media, Big Brother has been doing videos of Julie Chen trying to do the competitions in advance. So she did the Blockbuster, and I don't know how long it took her. They kind of sped it up. It's just like a cute video. But important to note that she used Adrian's like lane and pressed his button. So the comments are like, oh, so Adrian won. And like, obviously it didn't happen at that point, so they didn't genuinely know, but they're like, oh, she like, could you say jinxed it? Like if it's a good thing? Like it was just
the Julie blessing.
The Julie Chen blessing that Adrian would win, and it happened. So I don't know. Coming into this next week on
We gotta
Thursday,
see what happened the last time she did that.
oh,
We gotta
look,
do some digging
do some
off
sleuthing,
camera,
off-camera
some off
sleuthing
camera mining.
to figure out if this is a trend. Does Julie Chen bless the button, and then that's the person who wins. But this puzzle, it's like one of those things. Like I'm yelling at the TV, like no, like flip it around, like you got this.
Yes,
Um,
flip it around.
Flip it
Big heavy
around.
on that one when he was had the two pieces in the two opposite spots.
Yeah,
It was the top two pieces he had flipped, and he took like 50 hours to figure that out,
but he did
even
it.
though he was trying to put it in the thing like 50 times.
There was one point where I didn't even notice that those pieces up there were like not where they should be, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, no.
just push the piece in. Like I was yelling at the
He
TV, like
was
just do it. Because I think if he is against
that's what his
Will,
head was saying to him.
Adrian was gone. Against Amy, I don't know, but I'm like Adrian, if you want to stay, you gotta win this thing. And then he put it together. He wins the comp. I'm
Yeah.
excited for him. Again, he's a super fan. I want him to win comps. I want him to go far. Obviously, Wall comp want him to see there. Him and that.
Yeah.
Um, and so Adrian wins the blockbuster. They go down the stairs. I know last time I mentioned like why are we just looking at the house guests coming downstairs looking so sad? It was a little bit better this week. I would love for Julie to be like winner, reveal yourself, and they come running down the stairs. And I want a
Yeah.
split screen. I want to see Adrian happy as can be running down the
Ah,
stairs, and the other half of the house going, "What?" Because they all know exactly how they're voting now. And then like I don't need necessarily to see the other two sad that they lost because we know. I don't like this whole charade of them walking down the stairs and like oh
yeah,
revealing
me
whatever.
neither.
Um I do like that the house guests are still using the couple, like the minute or two to discuss what they're going to do. Um, and Rachel knows. At this point, last week she was still campaigning to a couple of people who she thought were going to keep Zay. Tried to push as best as she could. And last week it was very much a like, don't mess with me, or you're gonna get kicked out the door, you're gonna get beheaded. This week we saw a little bit of a different side, a little bit of defeat.
I don't. Okay, so we're talking about the votes now.
We're going right into the votes now.
Why did she vote against Amy?
So
I don't understand. Like,
yeah.
yeah, I get that but like the whole house
Mm-hmm.
mobilized and voted against her. She was unanimous. It was a landslide. First
Yes.
landslide of the season
Mm-hmm.
against Amy. I understand because nobody else was with Amy except for Rachel, and everybody was cool with Will.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of, yeah, but like, why did she still, like, even if she knew, she still voted against her.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I
I
think
don't know.
that
It's superficial anyway because it wouldn't have mattered
yeah.
regardless.
I
It's
think
about
it
sending a
was
message.
it was definitely that. It was definitely strategic. I think she could have gone either way. She at this point knew that pretty much everyone was going to vote Amy out. And so she could have either given that pity vote and been like, you are my friend, so
Yeah.
I don't want to vote you out. I think by voting her out, though, she is showing the House that they could be united, they could be this kind of front, and that she's a team player. But that's really it. I mean, because it's a hard spot to discuss because yeah, her individual vote meant nothing at that time. I don't know if maybe because Rachel and Amy and Ashley were kind of close at some point, and I wonder if Rachel knew it was all over if Ashley just said, that she's voting out Amy. Um, her vote didn't mean anything, and so
Yeah,
I think she voted this way to show the house that she felt a certain way.
I guess.
And regardless of how she voted, they all know that she's pretty much by herself now. I don't know how obvious it is to the house guests that she's kind of working with Ashley, but I don't even know if she really is working with Ashley. I think they're just like
Yeah.
associated together, but I don't know. She's kind of on an island, and unfortunately, she is no matter what, just because of her reputation for already being a winner and being on multiple seasons. So I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I wasn't expecting her. Rachel was the first vote too, wasn't she?
Yes. That's why I was so
That set
it
the
stuck
tone.
in my head so much.
Yeah. I admittedly I wrote down the order that everyone voted in, but yet somehow there's a vote against Amy by Amy. So I'm going to to not look at that part of my notes anymore. But when Rachel voted that way, then it was just obvious that that was going to be the move. But also to my knowledge, there's no reason to vote at will. Because if Rachel voted out Will, it would just be a vote to keep Amy, more so than anti-Will. I think there's not a single house guest who really personally has any problem with either nominee. And then it's just
Which is
Amy's
why I'm
proximity.
still so upset at the fact that Jimmy thinks he's eating.
Bro's not eating. Bro
Bro
did
is not
not
eating.
eat.
Bro's starving.
Bro's
Bro is
starving.
making the house guest make the easiest decision of their lives and
Yeah.
thinks he's eating.
It was so like a whatever HOH. Again, sure, getting Amy out, fine. You got rid of somebody else. I don't think you got rid of someone else that was really a threat. It was just like, yeah, sure, there's one less person. And that was really it. Sure.
And he wasted 2 powers in the process, which I guess is a
Mhm.
pro for him.
Yeah.
But like if you're not gonna do anything with it, like
Mm. Yeah, I guess good for him on that part where the powers can't be used against him in some capacity in the future.
yeah.
If he finds himself sitting next to Keanu, he wouldn't want Keanu to have that power at that time. So it's good that he did that. Do I think that his HOH was bad? I think it was more bad than
It was
good, but it's like
yeah.
kind of nothing.
That was the only pro, was getting rid of the
Getting rid of the
powers.
powers.
Every other aspect,
Mm-hmm.
zip.
Because he then
Zip.
made it very clear that he is an enemy of Keanu and Kelly, and it's obvious that he could care less about Adrian and could care less about Will because they're just expendable.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna put you on the block because I for funsies I have no one else to put up, and someone else has to leave, and he just better hope that he could kind of lay low and be safe in the next week or two so that he doesn't make himself a bigger enemy. Because, like before, again, we're talking about how the obvious enemies right now, in my mind, or the people to put on the block, remain Kelly and Keanu. Just because it's easy to throw them up there. Unfortunately, Will and Adrian are now like, their names are in that hat because of what Jimmy did. Just because they've been on the block. And then the next person now, to me, is Jimmy. Jimmy came out, like, in a worse position than Vince did. I don't think Vince has anything to worry
Yeah.
about. So
Vince,
Jimmy just has to chill, and then
he's
hopefully he
not
won't make it
gonna.
up.
He's
I
not
don't know.
gonna.
I The thing though is that I think he can go either way because he wants to
Depends on
come
who wins
off.
HOH, I guess.
It does. I think he wants to come off as someone who isn't chill, who again is like very much wants to be a big character, but I don't really know if he genuinely is. Again, based on
No, he's
based on
not.
his nominees, so there is an okay chance that he lays low, and it seems like, oh, that's on not a characteristic of Jimmy to lay low. I think that he could kind of try to sink into the background as much as he would talk a big game in the diary room.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. And I'm gonna be sick of every moment of it.
I still want to see what he does. I want to see what everybody
Yeah, I mean,
does.
I want to see him. I want to see people making big moves, not just Jimmy.
Yeah.
The only reason I have an issue with him is because he's talking like he is, but he's
Hmm.
not. I want to
Yes.
see big moves. I want to see somebody go after Rachel. I want to see somebody try and take Keanu. I want to see Keanu take out people one by one, like he said.
Yeah.
I want to
It's
see
crazy.
something, and we
I
still haven't seen anything.
I genuinely want to see Rachel win head of household, and just because she talks a big game, I think she'd actually do the thing. You know, I just want someone who's not afraid to get up there and do something that is a little bit more controversial, and that I think that could set the tone for the rest of the game. Because whoever
That's
doesn't go
fair.
home is gunning for whoever, and then she could probably spin it in a certain way. And she at this point has nothing to lose. I want people to do the thing, do the big move, do it carefully. Don't just make enemies of other people for no reason, but get the people out that like. There's also a household that they won't stop talking about jury. Oh, I want to bring this person to jury. I don't want to see this person in jury, and whatever. I think like week one when they mentioned it, maybe too soon, but at the same time, now we're just a week later. I'm like, yeah, you don't want this person. Get them out. Get them out. And if you are afraid of getting people out, you need to make sure that you can utilize them to your advantage. And
And
if
the
you
other
can't,
thing,
then just put them on. Make
yeah,
waves. Make waves.
yes. And you take by taking shots at those bigger players, you are especially in pre-jury, when you take shots at people with big attitudes and big personalities, like post-jury,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna vote based off of those preconceived notions.
Mm-hmm.
The people who aren't going to do that are the people you want to take to jury. So you
Yeah.
want to get rid of the people like Mickey, or not Mickey, Jimmy, like um friggin' Rachel, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe Keanu. If he ever finds his way to jury, he's
Yeah.
probably gonna vote for, well, actually, I don't know. I can't say that with certainty, but I can for sure say it about Rachel and Jimmy,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. But like, you want to take out those people who are going to vote emotionally
Mm-hmm.
before jury.
I mean,
And
yeah.
yeah.
I think that Rachel could go either way just because she's been on the show before. I feel like she's kind of 50-50 because she can be an emotional person. This person wronged me. I'm not going to vote for them. But I also think, just as someone who's coming back for her third season, there's an okay chance that she will say, like, okay, this person did this strategically. But just given her character, I don't fully know. But you're right. Someone like Jimmy, like at this point, I feel like it's very much, you wronged me, I will not vote for you. Just like you said. But I feel like there's also some other characters where I'm like, I don't think Mickey would be like that, and I don't think like Ava would be like that. But is it just because we haven't seen enough from them? Like I'm really excited that Mickey got this power because I want to see what she can do. I'm personally rooting for her. But at this point in the game too, I'm really sure that other people in the house know about this power, which completely makes the power a flop when it is so dependent on someone being able to guess who has it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was kind of a side Mickey rant, but like I want to see more from the people that we haven't, to really decide like maybe they are more of an emotional player that you shouldn't bring to jury than we think. Because again, the majority of this house in their preseason interviews all said that they would just want to lay low until jury. And honestly, I understand that gameplay. I think that would kind of be my move. Also, as someone who would have to rely more on social game than the competitions if I wanted to make it to jury, but it is not helpful when a majority of the house all has the exact same strategy.
Yeah. Big moves.
We want them.
Number one.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need.
That's what we crave.
I guess we'll have to see what happens next week.
We will. We will. We'll have to see what happens next week. As I kind of mentioned earlier, I stayed up all night after Amy left the house, and so it's really crazy how fast time moves. Because by 1 a.m. East Coast, there was already a brand new HOH crowned, and we're gonna find out more about that on tonight's episode,
And
on the
that,
Sunday episode, where you guys will know this information soon. Already got to see the HOH room and the album. I'm always so.
wait, you know the
I
album?
know the album, but I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, I was gonna because last
I'm not
week
gonna say it.
I kind of guessed it. Well,
Based on the album.
I don't. Well, it was very vague actually, but like he was like in my like top
Mm-hmm.
people that I thought it would be, just because I don't take it. I don't. He doesn't strike me as the type to have good music taste. Sorry, but yeah, I feel like the music that people listen to is
Mm-hmm.
very telling, like
Yeah.
of like their personality, and like I can definitely read it.
Yeah. So
So don't say
I won't
anything.
give the spoiler, but I will be posting more about that. So if you're curious about that, you want to see all of our weekly updates on our Instagram. We do have an Instagram at the diary.wmsc, where I also do post spoilers. So the HOH has already been there for days, but the cover warns you that there is a spoiler. So as someone who watches the live feeds, I don't want to ruin the fun for anybody else. So I make sure that I keep things a little hidden. You get to decide if you want to know more or not. Another important plot point of this episode, I am wearing the crown for my draft pick last week. All of them stayed in the house, and Chris's pick is gone. But alas, this week, week 2, we lost Amy, who was on my team, which means for the next week, I am the Diary Room's have not, and I shall be wearing some object of shame. Oh,
And I get a pizza party hat now.
wait, Chris was so quick to change his hat. I wasn't quite prepared to do such a thing. Wait, I'll work on it. I usually wore the chef hat of shame.
Yes.
And then I am now wearing a chef hat. If you're listening, you cannot see this. But if you're wondering how you could see this, that's right. We also put our episodes on our YouTube channel. You could be listening to us via Spotify at the moment and what have you. But no matter what platform you're listening to us on, I am, alas, the have not. Also want to bring up the fact that maybe we can tell the future. For the very last pick on our draft was Zay, who was evicted week 1. Our second to last pick was Amy, who was just evicted. So who knows what comes next. But if we are correct in this path, that does mean that Adrian would be the next boot. So let's see what happens there. As much as future telling could be cool, I'm personally rooting for Adrian, so I kind of
Yeah,
hope that we
me
are
too.
wrong in this next week. Thank you so much for listening to the Diary
A
Room.
diary
The Diary Room
room.
WMSC. It has been a pleasure recapping the last week of the show, and now we take a deep breath before we have our next Sunday night episode. Um, and we didn't mention the Friday night episode because it's just kind of what we do. It's just a little bit of a recap. But coming into this next week, there will not be a new Friday episode because that happens every 2 weeks. Just so you know what to expect. Again, for all updates, we got socials, and you'll hear us again the same time next week.
Next
Next week, enjoy the
week.
episode, and until then, peace out.
But Girl Scout.